Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, Sloka 26. In this sloka, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Arjuna, I know clearly and fully everything regarding all creatures that were, are, and will be. But none knows me well. None knows anything about me. The Lord has perfect knowledge concerning every detail of His creation, the manifest universe. But none in this universe has definite knowledge of His Creator. So, this is what conveyed by Bhagavan to Arjuna in this sloka. So, he says, he doesn't have any time limit. He is beyond the time. He is not time bound. We are only time bound. And He knows all the creatures of His world. So He knows He is the one who creates. So He knows what we were in the previous birth, what are we today, and what we will be in the next birth. So Bhagavan says, I am the only one who knows all this. And you, the others, do not know. So people who do not understand me do not know all this. So here the message given by Bhagavan is, we should have a goal of getting relieved from the cycle of birth and death. We should aim for moksha. And we have taken human form after many births, because getting human birth form is very difficult. So we got it. So we have the power to think. We have power to apply the knowledge, what we hear or what we read. And we understand what are do's and don'ts. So what are given in the scriptures, what are said by Bhagavan, what to do and what not to do. So we human beings only can understand that, and we have taken that form. Let's not waste it. So let's get ourselves relieved from the birth and death. Because we should not get into that again and again. So how is it happening? It is because of our karma we do in our births. And the effect of karma is carried over from birth to birth. The Atma takes the body. So how does Atma get the body? The body is given by God. He is having account of our pavam and punyam, sins and punya. So He is the one who is allotting the body to us. So to get better birth, we should do only good karma. So what is good karma? What is bad karma? We should know about it. For that we should be in spiritual path, and we should learn from scriptures. So we know more about Bhagavan, and we know more about Bhagavan's Leelas, and we know more about the teachings of Bhagavan, and we know we will be conscious of what we should do and what we should not do. So what happens? We do not do more of bad karma. So our account should be 0. Then what happens? We get relieved from the cycle of birth and death. So we attain moksha. This is the simple formula God gives in this Gita Upadesam. So we should be aware of our karmas, what we do and how it is very harmful to others, whatever we do, because our actions have to be checked by us. And every karma has pavam and punyam. So we should be aware of it. That is what we learn from scriptures. So when we think of Bhagavan, when we surrender ourselves to Bhagavan, Bhagavan keeps us in Sattvic Guna. When we are in Sattvic Guna, we don't do any bad karma. So to remain in Sattvic, to do good karmas, we should take refuge at the divine, the lotus feet of Bhagavan. So he says, yes, I am ready. Come to me. You think of me always. Come to me. I'll protect you. I'll relieve you from this cycle of birth and death. I'll give you moksha. So we can be in Vaikuntha and do service to Bhagavan always. So this is what we learn from this sloka. This is what Bhagavan explains. I am beyond the time and you all time bound. So after your lifespan, you relieve that the Atma gets away from this body. Then Atma gets other body. That body is given only by Bhagavan as per our karma. So he knows what we were in the previous births, what are we today, and what will be tomorrow in the next birth. If we take the Gajendra Moksha, we find how Gajendra, after trying by itself, that is, he tried to bring out the leg from the mouth of crocodile, but it could not. So it lost his mental hair. Mentally he lost himself and physically he lost himself. Then he called Bhagavan, he called Adi Moolame. So how did he get that? What made him call him? That is because of the karma vasana. Because in the previous birth he was a king who was a staunch devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he always doing puja for Bhagavan, chanting his name, but he was cursed by a rishi. The rishi who came there, when he was on meditation, rishi thought that he was doing it deliberately, that he was not paying attention to him. So he cursed him to be born as elephant in the next birth. This is how that king became an elephant. He was born as elephant in the next birth. Since he was a staunch devotee of Bhagavan and he was chanting his name, he was doing meditation on Bhagavan. So that helped him, that made the Gajendran to call out Bhagavan's name. So Bhagavan was ready to help. So Bhagavan was looking for who is calling me. So he was searching for the Bhakta who was calling him. Then Garuda was ready to carry him. So Garuda, if we visit any temple, you find Garuda will be kneeling down and he keeps always one foot outside. That means he is ready to carry Bhagavan. So if any Bhakta calls, Bhagavan will be visiting there. So I should carry him. So you can find in this posture in all the temples. So Garuda and Hanuman, they are always ready to do service to Bhagavan. That is, they are Periya Tiruvadi and Siriya Tiruvadi. So here Bhagavan is always ready. So Bhagavan, after hearing the cry of Gajendra, he appeared and he relieved him from the clutches of crocodile. So he got relieved from his pava, sins. So he got papa vimochana and Bhagavan gave him moksha because he was a good soul in the previous birth. So that was awarded in the next birth. But for the curse he had to, because the curse, Bhagavan could not do anything because the curse was given by Rishi. So here we find how Bhagavan helps, how we come out of our pavam birth by birth. Because some people get the moksha in the same birth, in this birth, the present birth. Some people have to take birth 2 times or 3 times according to their karma, and when they do good karma, when they are in spiritual path, and when they think of God and chant His name and submitting themselves, that is doing Saranagati at the divine feet of Bhagavan, He takes care of us. Then we don't do any more bad karma. So what happens? Our account will become 0 at one point of time. Then Bhagavan gives us moksha. This is what happens. This is what said by Bhagavan in this sloka. He knows everything. He is watching. He is the creator. So He knows all the creations of this prapancha. So he says all that. So I am the one, but people do not understand me. People do not know me. People do not have any knowledge about me. So because that is also a karma. When you are in rajas and tamas guna, and you will not understand, you will not realize the greatness of Bhagavan. So what happens? Our birth continues. So we have taken this human form after so many births. There are nearly 84 lakhs species. So we would have taken so many, and we got this human form. So this human form is it's a gift for us, because animals cannot understand what is right and what is wrong. We people understand, and we can choose only do's, which are said by Bhagavan, and reduce our pavam and increase our punyam and bring our account, the karma account, to zero. Then we attain moksha. Bhagavan says this. He is showing the path to us. Yes, you can attain. Everyone can attain moksha. That is what Bhagavan says. So I know all beings that have passed away, and those that live now, and those that will live hereafter, but no one knows me. Among the beings existing in the threefold divisions of time, whom I look after, no one understands me as of the nature described, and as Vasudeva incarnated. He is the Bhagavan. He is Vasudeva. He is incarnated as Vasudeva, and his divine feet, his lotus feet, are the only refuge for all of us. So, but he says, so no one resorts to me. Therefore, the one who knows me really is extremely difficult to be found. So Bhagavan says all that. So how we can be out of this cycle of birth and death? And he says, people do not understand me. So how to understand Bhagavan? How to know about him? Because this chapter gives us knowledge about Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan himself talks about himself to Arjuna. So this chapter gives us very rich information about Bhagavan. So when we know more and more about Bhagavan, naturally we get attracted towards him because of his divine qualities, Kalyana Gunam, and his Leelas, and his Karunyam, and his compassion towards people. So we go closer to him. So as we go closer to him, he comes much more closer to us. So naturally what happens? We do not think of anything else other than Bhagavan. So when we are in that path, naturally we get moksha. We will not concentrate on any other things, and we will not do any bad karma. So this is how we get relieved from karmas. So here Tirumangai Alvar, all Alvars, if we read all the Pasurams, we find how the Alvars, they were sent by God to spread Bhakti. The Alvars, they visited the Divya Desams, and they kept on singing songs in praise of Bhagavan. So they were always emotional when they visit the temples and when they sing songs in praise of Bhagavan. And these Pasurams give us more knowledge and take us deeply into Bhagavan. So this is the influence of Pasurams. So here we find Tirumangai Alvar's Pasuram. That Pasuram is from Periya Tirumozhi. This Pasuram, Pirappodu Mooppondrillavan Thannai Pediya Inba Vellathai Irappedir Kala Kadivumananai Ezhisayin Suvai Thannai Chirappudai Marayur Nangai Nannaduvul Chemponchai Koyilulle Marai Perum Porulai Vanavarkonai Kandu Naan Vaalthozhindene. So here Tirumangai Alvar, who went on, he was a Tirumangai Mannan, he was a king, and later he became an Alvar. He engaged himself only in doing service to Bhagavan. So he visited the place Tirunamur, Chemponchai Koyil, that's a place, and the song is in praise of the deity here. So he says, Bhagavan has no, Bhagavan does not have any, he is not time bound. We people have, we get the birth, death and sickness and old age, everything. He is beyond all that, and he is always cheerful, he is always happy, Anandam, he is always Tatchitanandam. He remains very happy always, and he doesn't have any um, disappearance or anything. He is always there, and he is like um, he is very sweet. He compares the sweetness to how the taste, the 7 types of taste. When you taste the 7 types of food, you find how you feel. So you get that sweetness when you think of what, when you utter his name, his nama. That is what he says here, and he says he is the meaning of Vedas. He is Veda, he says, and such a God is here in Tirunangur, in the center of Tirunangur, Chempon Chai Koyil. So he is praising that deity. So Marai Perum Porulai Vanavar Konai. So I have come here, I've seen you, I have darshan of you, and I am surrendering to you at your divine feet. So I will not go away from you. I know you will take care of me. I want to get away from this cycle of birth and death. So he is making it very sure. Yes, you will protect us. You will save us from this cycle of birth and death. So because we are taking refuge at your divine feet. That is what all our said. So surrender to him. So when we surrender to him, what happens? We do not get attracted towards the material world. How Kulasekara Alvar did. He was a king. He sacrificed everything. He renounced everything, and he left his kingdom without having any material, that is valuables with him. And he used to invite all the Adiyargal, that is the Bhaktas, devotees of Bhagavan. And the other people were not happy about it. So they made a plan to send away all these devotees. So what did they do? They made a trick of hiding a valuable necklace of the deity of that palace, and they brought that too, and they blamed the devotees. And Kulasekara was said, yes, you bring a vessel, a kodam, and put a nagam in that. I will put my hand inside. If the nagam does not bite me, he was very sure that they were innocent. So he says, yes, it doesn't bite, yes, they are innocent. And he was ready to give up his life for them and put his hand inside. Nothing happened, and he left that place. He didn't want to be there because the people are after material. So he didn't want to stay there further, and we went out and he visited Srirangam, and he kept on visiting the other Divya Deshams. This is how Alvars lived. And all their pasurams inspire us, make us to do Charanagati, to surrender ourselves and not to go after the materials. When we are after materials, we will not feel like listening to all these pasurams or listening to scriptures or visiting temples. We will not get all the things. So when you are away from, you are detached with materials naturally. So when will you get detached? When you are attached to Bhagavan, when you travel in the spiritual path. So this is what we learn from, because we don't know what we will be, because we have done, all our karmas have the effect. So let's make that karmas do not have the effect of sin. So this is, Bhagavan shows the way. He is the only one who knows everything. So let's surrender ourselves to him and lead a very peaceful and simple way